One more thing that's great about America is our military. Now, when I say that, some people say, what are you talking about, Stossel? That's one of the worst parts of America. Our military is too big, too expensive. They're bullies, imperialists.
Shut it down!
These students want a recruiting office shut down. These claim that America went to Iraq for oil.
The violence of the U.S. Imperial Army.
Many people share Cindy Sheehan's beliefs. But what's the truth? Reasonable people can argue that our intervening in Somalia did Somalia and us no good. That we made a terrible mistake fighting so long in Vietnam. And that we shouldn't have invaded Iraq. That's what these students are upset about.
The people united will never be defeated.
Very often students will accost me and say, well, America's invaded all these countries. America invaded Grenada in 1983. America had troops in Bosnia. America invaded Iraq. And I say, well, if America's invaded all these countries, how come we don't own them?
Good point. When the Romans invaded Europe, they kept it 400 years. They enslaved people. The Spanish plundered what they called the New World, and they made the native people their slaves. The British ruled India for 90 years.
The British came to conquer and to rule.
The French colonized Algeria. In fact, European countries took over most of Africa for 100 years. Russia conquered more than a dozen countries. And China still controls Tibet. By contrast, the American military again and again fought to achieve peace, and then we went home.
This ceremony officially marks mission complete.
American troops go in, American troops pull out. We turn over the keys, they have their own election, they pick their own leaders.
After we defeated Germany and Japan in World War II, we pulled out most of our troops and then spent billions sending them aid.
Every other country in the history of the world, when it's defeated an adversary, it demands reparations. You know, pay us back for what it cost us to fight you and defeat you. What did the United States do at the end of World War II? The Marshall Plan. We spent money, no strings attached.
The Marshall Plan, signed by President Truman, under which billions of dollars of American aid were thrown to the support of the free nations of Europe.
And then we said, thanks, we don't want anything for it, we don't want reparations.
Since that World War, America has acted like the world's policeman, going into places like Grenada, Kosovo, Panama, Bosnia. But we always left.
From the moment Operation Desert Storm commenced,
the first Iraq War only lasted until the American military got the Iraqis to leave Kuwait. President Bush refused calls to let our troops march into Baghdad.
the war is over.
And later, even when we were attacked, and after we bombed Afghanistan in retaliation, the military dropped food, tents, blankets. And President Obama has promised to pull our troops out of Afghanistan and Iraq.
This war is ending, and all of our troops are coming home.
Jail to the chief! Jail to the chief!
George W. Bush was accused of ordering Allied troops into Baghdad to own the country.
People say we went to Iraq to get the oil.
Well, it hadn't worked out real well, has it? Because we're about to leave Iraq, and we don't own those oil wells.
In fact, fewer than 10% of the oil contracts the Iraq government signed have gone to American firms. Instead of commandeering oil wells, American soldiers build orphanages and water purification plants.
You know, I'm a naval officer. My primary job is fixing ships.
But now he's supervising school construction in Iraq.
We could have gone in and decimated Saddam Hussein and taken off. That's probably what everybody else would have done. There was this idea that America has the responsibility to rebuild Iraq the way we rebuilt Germany, rebuilt Japan after World War II. I mean, that's not one of the obligations that comes with war, to take over the country and start rebuilding and giving it money, putting its buildings back up that you knocked down. Typically, empires have come to loot, to pillage, to rule. If the Romans had employed a siege, they would essentially starve the population, then leave no stone unturned, kill the men, enslave the women and children. How common is it for one military power to be feeding the civilians on the other side?
And look what the military does when there's a disaster.
What happened when we had this tsunami in Indonesia? Who went? The American military.
Katie's daughter serves on a Navy destroyer. She emailed her mom about the kindness of the military.
Our ships have doctors and corpsmen that will heal people. Our machines will make safe drinking water out of salt water or dirty water. Our chaplains can pray in your language and to your God. Now, that's not a military that's going out to conquer lands and bring home treasure.
More than any other country, in protecting our self-interest, we are also trying to make the world a better place.
And that's something else good about America.